All right, hockey fans, Panther fans, Bruin fans. Yes, even Bruins fans are welcome here today and every day on Flying Fluffy Panthers Hockey. Now you already see who's here. You this guy, this guy,
This guy, just a guy.
this guy, low quality Bruins fan, and like I was just telling Ian a second ago, it's like when I see him, I see myself when I had hair. That's that's my hair, you son.
I'm holding on as long as I can. My dad went bald pretty quickly, so I'm just gonna keep it until it starts to really go away. Then
That's
all bets are off.
that's kind of what I did. My dad's 79, and at his 60th surprise birthday party, he patted me on the head and he said, "I think you might actually keep your hair." And
The death blow.
the death blow. I kept it until it was gone, and then it just like vanished.
Yeah.
And there's actually a quick funny story. There's a video on this channel. Kyle didn't want me to shave my head. He didn't want me to shave my head, and so I had to trick him. I took him down to the river and let him go kayaking for a couple of hours. And I came back home, and my daughter filmed me shaving my head. And then when we went to pick up Kyle, I had the hat on, and I surprised him and took off the hat.
There you go.
He was less than pleased. We'll put it that way. But we're good now. So I've been meaning to reach out to low quality here for a while. I joke about it, but man, I love watching your videos. I love the skits, man. Just I started off doing this channel with a lot more skits than I do now. And it just reminds me of the energy I had back when I was a youngster.
It's I'll tell you, at 2 a.m. on a West Coast trip, you're trying to think of a joke. You're just staring at a wall like, I got work starting in 3 hours. I got to do something here.
Have you ever filmed the recap and forgotten to do the intro? Have you gotten to the end and realized, oh shit, I don't have one done?
I usually save it for the end. I'll usually record everything and then go back unless I'm like, unless something jumped in there and I'm like, I can't lose this. Hold on. I gotta.
Right. Yeah. I've done it because, I do the pregame and I do a segment after the second period. And there has been on occasion where I get ready to film the postgame and I'm like, shit, I didn't do an intro.
Whoops.
And when that happens, we just grab a puppet. We just grab a puppet. I'll show you. This is I don't have his voice perfectly yet, but this is Chicken Chuck. This is Chicken Chuck. Last year, at some point during one of the recaps, I was trying to say Kachuk, and I said Kachuckin, and then I was like Kachuk, Kachuckin, Kachicken, and that was it. It just
close enough.
It was close enough. So, but yeah, man, I love the channel. And the history between our two teams now is obviously in the last several years.
Nice little rivalry now. This is, I mean, unfortunately, the Bruins are going the other way, so we might not be able to meet like that for a little while, but we'll see.
Well, I'm sure you do appreciate us taking on the mantle of the dirtiest team, though. Now,
yes,
we've taken that.
Yeah, hey, you have to, and it takes. I think you have to get out of it a little bit to start appreciating it, because like the Bruins were dirty for a long time. Marchand in his prime, everything. He was a rat. I mean, right? Yeah. He's still kind of. But you'll see. I think you have probably noticed this as well. He's cleaned up his act a lot in his late 30s, mid to late 30s. Like you guys have a version of him that's not so defensively intense. He's much more offensively minded. Yeah. He's pushing the pace on that side of the puck. And a lot of he's not doing the slew footing anymore. He's cut a lot of that stuff out. He still riles them up, still gets in their face, but it's a much different version of Marchand. But you do start to just kind of look back and appreciate hey man, we were dirty, but we were also effective. And
that's it.
That's just what it is.
if you win, nobody in your own fan base cares. It's like, yep. That worked.
And if you don't win, no one cares that you're dirty. That's
a really good point.
You have to be actually how much this year have you heard, other than Lightning fans? Totally different conversation. But how much have you heard the Panthers are this dirty? Everything is about the last couple of years, right? This season they're the Panthers, whatever, until you guys start bulldozing teams when you're actually healthy.
Until we start winning, they've kind of and I don't want to get off too much on that tangent, but they've kind of progressed from the dirty to now it's just rigged. The Colin Campbell and Peros thing is just rigging the league for us.
Yeah.
They've just moved on to that at this point. And
we heard our fair share of that too, for what
I'm sure. I'm sure. Whenever somebody says anything to me, I just point to my signs and I say 1 cup, 2 cups, and I'm good.
That's all you got to do. And people they'll keep on that. For Vancouver will talk to me forever about Campbell. Same situation. It's just that those fans will hold on to that till the end of time. And you just, all right, that is what I can't say anything. What am I?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
There's nothing to do.
No. So, all right. So we're just going to chat a little bit here. Now, the first thing I do want to do real quick is just give me a little bit of the background to how long you've been doing the channel, how you started it. Just give me a little bit there.
Yeah, so it's been about 5 years. I think this is our 5th season, if memory holds, which memory is not great. But COVID hit, and like many things in our modern world, COVID hit and kind of escalated everything to make things happen. I got laid off from my job. I was working in sports apparel, and then I was also working in theaters, like stage theaters, like live stuff.
Okay.
And so when both of the things that were taking up all my time disappeared, it took 2 weeks till my fiance was like, hey, you're going nuts. Like, you need something to work on. And so obviously hockey wasn't going, but I really I don't know. I've always had an appreciation for covering the team and talking about the team. And so it's just like, you know what, as soon as this really starts back up, I'm going to just going to make some stuff. And it took a little while for me to figure out what I wanted to be. Like, my first episode was too Steve Dangle-ish, like just too, it wasn't me. I was just kind of like doing stuff. And so it took a little while to find a rhythm, but now I just kind of lean into, I'm a little weird. Turns out I have some weird phrases that I say that I didn't know were weird. And the electric meatball, people really like, that's one that stands out every time I mention it. Like, you call your brain the electric meatball? I'm like, that's always been a thing. I didn't know that was, so yeah, lean into the humor and just have some fun with it.
Yeah. My first video was in the back of my van. I think I have. Do I have the little? I usually keep this. I have this little Surface Pro. I don't want to knock everything down, but I had my friends on Twitter and we were talking. And this was the team had just traded Gabranson and Kulikov and done the whole analytics thing. It was right before we fired Gallant. And I was talking. Hey, maybe I'm gonna do a channel. Because there was a friend of mine named Lucas who had a channel called Rats on the Ice, and he was making Panther videos.
Oh, nice.
And so long story short, we lost, I think, like 5-0 to the Blues. I'm like, that's it. So I hung. Can you see the flag? You can see the Panther flag a little bit. I hung this flag because I have a cargo van, and I hung it along the wall in the side of the van, and I got my little Surface Pro, and I'm just like looking down at the Surface Pro. And filming this first video, and a couple of weeks later, Gallant got fired, and we did a skit about that, and we were off to the races. But
how different the Panthers franchise was viewed 10 years ago. How insanely different.
I always tell those stories because, like, the first 3 or 4 years of the channel, the only comments I would get from fans of Canadian teams were, I'm so happy the Panthers have a YouTube guy, and you're my favorite. You're my second favorite team.
Good for you.
Right? And I hope you guys do good and all of that. And we don't get none of that anymore.
Yeah, so Bruins, I don't get any of that.
Right. Yeah.
But I've been guilty of it where, like, I also kind of grew up liking the Sharks as well. But I'll talk to Sharks fans like, I like you guys. I'm rooting for you guys. Once the Sharks start going to the finals every other year, I'm like, I don't know if I'm rooting for you guys anymore. Right. So, all right. So let's talk a little about. We'll start with the big, and then whittle into our own teams a little bit here this year. What the hell is wrong with the Eastern Conference? Let's just start there. Parity, right? Parity, close, tight. Like, you. No prediction is worth anything right now, I would say.
No. And we were talking about it on the noon stream today. The Panthers aren't even in a playoff spot at 47 points. We'd be in first place in the Pacific.
The Pacific is terrible
it's
right
awful.
now.
Nobody in that division has a positive goal differential.
Is that right? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me. Holy shit, you're right.
Nobody. And if you want to count the overtimes, Vegas is 17-23.
Yeah, I hate seeing. This is something I do on the channel too, as I point out. No one gets to be like, well, we're above 500. Not really. You got those 6-7 losses over. That's still losses, bud. That's not over 500.
You still lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The West is the West, but at least they've got a little bit of separation there where it's a little bit normal. The East, I mean, a couple of days ago, Ottawa was in last place in the conference, and they were also only 9 points out of first place with 3 games in hand.
Yeah.
And it's like you're saying, there's just no prediction that's even going to be worth a damn at this point. And what I've been doing, because over the course of the year, because I have a noon stream I do every day, and we talk about standings a lot, and everybody's worried about the Panthers and this, that, and the other thing. But I always will look back at where the standings were last year. And, last year was you guys weren't even that far off the pace now from where you were last year. And neither so much of the Panthers. But then when you look at who was in last place at this point last season, it's like, I mean, Ottawa looked dead in the water. The Canadians looked dead in the water. And so now those teams are, I mean, the Sabres are going to be buyers. That's what we're hearing.
Well, so this is actually, I'm really glad you said that, because one of the most fascinating and terrifying things about this year, especially for a team like Boston, because Boston was now, it's basically year 3 of pretend 500 is basically where we're at. And then obviously last year we did an awesome job of bottoming out. Not upset about it at all. That was exactly what the team needed.
Right.
But you run into this scenario. So I'm going to do it through a Bruins lens here. You have the core set up still. You still have Pastrnak, you still have Swayman, you still have McAvoy. You're competitive in these games. Are you a great team? Not really. Are any of your underlying analytics saying you should be good? No. None of them. But the fan base gets to get all nervous now because you're like, well, what if Sweeney buys in and decides to buy at the deadline and trades future assets for, like, he's not a big rental guy, but even players that, like a Jeannot type, where you go, I don't want to spend assets, or a Sherwood. That's a better. I don't want to spend assets for a 30-year-old who's suddenly shooting at 30%. Fuck that. Right. Leave that alone. Right. But so now the fan base, because it's so close through the whole conference, has to sit here and get concerned because I want to be competitive. I want to make the playoffs. I don't want to be a buyer. Those are two separate things to me. Right. Yeah. Where the Panthers, I feel like you guys are in a better spot. You have tons of injuries. You know you're going to be good when they're back. You're getting close, right? You're getting some guys back soon, right? Yeah. Chucky's been skating with the non-contact jersey now for about a week. He's coming on this road trip. We've got a weird road trip, like almost the whole month of January. Yikes. And so it's like 6 and 1, and then like 3 and 1 and 1 and 1. It's just stupid. Yeah, that's so bad. He's still in the non-contact. I guess Schwint is in the regular jersey now because we do have issues at 4C because Nosek, he's about the same thing as Barkov, which is maybe first round playoffs, maybe first round. So we have these where the Panthers are. I mean, I wouldn't call us screwed, right? Because we're the 2-time Cup champs, but where we have issues, we'll call it that, is in the cap management come the playoffs because of the new LTIR rules. Yeah, this is a bad year for you guys to have that. Yeah. And so I had to make a video on this channel just to kind of clarify to everybody, like, this is what will happen if we move this guy and this guy and this guy. Because you can maybe go out and get a guy. But then when you look at your cap, because you have to be cap compliant in the playoff game, the roster can be over, but the lineup has to be cap compliant. So it's like, we can go get this guy and fit him in. But then if somebody else gets hurt, well, we won't be able to fit in this guy or this guy because we'll be over the cap. And people sit there and be like, oh, so some fourth liners drop out. I'm like, first of all, the fourth liners are making $1 million. That's not enough moved out. And second of all, you don't really want to have an $8 million guy as your 4C. It doesn't really work well. They don't play the style that's necessary for those matchup minutes. Right. And so, when you look at it over the whole, I mean, the whole way that thing happened, I'm curious your thoughts. I'll get your thoughts on that.
did you have any inclination whatsoever, any inkling, any rumor, innuendo about they were just going to vote to put the LTIR rules? We're gonna just make it effective now.
Not that. I thought they were going to make the change. And when they did announce the change, I was like, okay, that makes sense. We'll probably see that in 2028, 2020. Like, like the way they normally do it.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember a time where I know like CBAs have happened and it's like, okay, the following year, certain changes. I've never seen a structural change like this happen immediately. And the announcement we made, what was it, 6 weeks, 8 weeks before the season started? It was right before we started.
Yeah, it was right before we started. And the thing is like, obviously, the Panthers had certain circumstances where it affected us. But everybody's already signed their contracts and gotten their free agents. And so I think between that and the fact that who's going to sell, I think the trade deadline this year is just going to be, for lack of a better phrase, a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Because, if the Sabres aren't going to sell, for crying out loud, the Preds, even over in the West, aren't that far. You're like who's selling? That's really, the Panthers aren't in the playoff spot right now because the Penguins are. So they're not going to sell.
Yep. I think there's one team that I'm positive is selling, and that's Vancouver. It's the only team that I can bet my life they're going to move off some vets.
Yeah, yeah.
But can you name one gun to your head you would absolutely be like, yes, they're going to sell at the deadline? Even the Blackhawks, I'm like, what are they moving off of? Really?
Yeah. Sharks aren't going to sell. They're either in or right on the doorstep.
Maybe the Kings, if they continue to flounder, maybe.
Yeah, but it's all maybes. It's usually there's like that half dozen teams that you're just waiting. You're just sitting back. Let us know when you're ready. Yep. Come on, we know you're going to do it.
That phone ain't been ringing lately. What's going on
over
here?
and it's bad enough. Ain't nobody going to answer the phone when the Panthers call anyway. Oh, it's that asshole.
Zito. I used to say that too, but like when the Bruins were, I know we only have the one chip to show for it, but 10 years of just being competitive every year. No one wants to deal with Boston. They always did. Yeah. People always did. The Leafs still trade with us. The Leafs. Every trade they do with us turns out terrible for them, and they still those are our guys over there. Right? I don't get it. If I was them, I'd just be like, it's Boston. Leave them alone. We'll find a different partner to trade.
Yeah. Speaking of that, and I'm curious how the difference between the Bruins fan base when the Marchand trade happened. How's the fan base's feelings been about that, the whole progression of things?
People are so stubborn, man. They're just, it doesn't feel like anyone's budging. That was, and even as more evidence comes out, you could take all of the other leadership rumors and things of that nature out, throw it out. They couldn't come to terms on a deal. Made very clear by you guys signing him to an absurdly lengthy contract that made all the sense in the world for you. Because again, you really only care about the next 3 years. That's what we need you for.
Yeah.
But the amount of people who are that was a bad trade, you gave him up for nothing. We got a first out of it. And it was the Taylor Hall trade where he told us, hey, that's where I will go.
Right.
Okay. We did right by Marchand. That's at least as far as I see it.
Well, I'll tell you, because we were streaming the free agency deadline, the trade deadline, and I was just getting ready to. Kyle's just closing it up. It's 3:00, and I'm walking. All right, I'm gonna go walk and do a recap video of it. And Kyle says, "Wait a minute, Friedman says I'm hearing Marchand to Florida." And I thought about it for a second. It was just the dumbest reaction that you could ever have. I'm like, well, where? And for who and why? Because at that point, our assumption was we were worried about Lundell.
It was 3:45 at this point, too. It's at 45 minutes after the deadline's over. Everyone's still sitting there waiting because they kept pushing these rumors out.
Yeah.
I wanted Lundell, by the way. I was like, did we get Lundell from Marchand? I was going to lose my mind.
That was all of our worries, because it's the first thing out of my mouth after that was well, we're not going to just get him for a pick. They're not just gonna, you know what I mean? But that's the fan way to look at it. You know what I mean? When I'm looking at it as a fan, and of course worried about losing one of your guys, because I figured, well, they're going to want somebody. They're going to want a good player in return.
Yep.
But
it ended up being more of the like, hey, this guy asked us to make a deal with this team. We're doing right by him. And I'm fine with that. Like, it's a franchise legend. He'll retire a Bruin, it would be my guess. The longer he stays with the Panthers, and if he wins another cup with them, I don't know if he'll retire a Bruin. But I thought it made sense. I remember in the live stream we were doing, it's like 3:15, and I'm talking to people, and they go, we didn't move Marchand. I was like, no, we did. Because if I haven't heard about an extension happening yet, they definitely traded him. And so when he said, I'm here and Marchand got moved, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Florida. Oh, oh no. I got some of the nastiest messages, dude, when I was like, this was the right move. People did not like that.
No, I know, man. Look, I mean, it's tough. I got lucky with the Tkachuk trade, because I had done a video 3 days previously predicting the trade
Really?
It's a funny story. So I get migraines, and when I get it, because I have Lyme, and so when I got this was back then, when I get a really bad migraine, every once in a while, I got to take medication that kind of gets me a little bit ornery. You know what I mean? And so it's the middle of summer, nothing really, you know what I mean? It's like nothing's going on. And I'm looking on Twitter, and everybody's talking about wanting to trade Lundell. And Lundell at that point was like my pet project. And so I got all pissed off, and I'm like, screw you guys. And I go into the recap room, and my head is pounding, and I'm all buzzed up. And so I go off on this 15-minute, 10-minute rant on not trading Lundell. And inside the video, I'm like, hey, look, if you want to call a Calgary and be like, Huberdeau, Weegar, give them any other prospect in a first, but not Lundell, I'd pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple days later, it happened on a Friday night, and I wake up Saturday morning, and I had like 1 million messages. And I thought they were scamming me. I thought they were punking me, because it was the same damn thing. I'm like, and I'm sitting there, and my girlfriend.
I'm good. I'm not that good though.
I know, right? And so my girlfriend at the time's making the coffee, and all I can do is look at my phone and say, that can't be real. It can't be real. And she's like, what? It can't be real. It can't. And she got mad at me. She's like, what?
That's good stuff.
and so my video reacting to the trade was like, I wasn't even processing the trade. I was just like, but that's what I said. It was crazy.
You're like, that better work now, because I did say it. So.
That better work.
Actually, me and the Short Shift podcast is one of the podcasts I'm on. And we got heated about that discussion of who won that trade originally.
Oh, geez.
It was me and Andrew that really got into it. And I kept telling him, like, Tkachuk's the best player. They won the trade. Like, that's period. Done. They won the trade. Because I'm infamous for, I hate Huberdeau. I think he's a just empty calories player. You don't win with a player like that. I am not a Huberdeau guy at all. I hope I'm not insulting a bunch of people. But I'm not a Huberdeau fan at all. So moving him out and getting a guy who's meat and potatoes and puts up 100 points, fucking no-brainer. Just incredible trade. And obviously incredible trade.
Yeah. Obviously Huberdeau drafted him, developed him. We all, love the kid, right?
Yeah.
But when I was doing recasts before he got traded, what I would consistently get aggravated with him about is not playing with any fire. And I felt like if he played with fire, he could be the best guy on the team, but he was all up and down because there'd be too many games where it was just a little bit too much lackadaisical.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the trade happened, I had a lot of Flames fans and that were telling me, hey man, that weren't really, they were kind of almost a little bit happy to see Chucky go. And what I was watching happening was between management and the fan base, they were kind of convinced that Huberdeau was going to be that guy to get them over the hump. And, I didn't want to I wasn't obnoxious about it, but I was like, guys, he's not that kind of player.
Not going to be
he's a
guy. Yeah.
He's a good player, surround him, but he needs people who are going to put the puck in the back of the net. It was 115 points, but it was 85 assists. you know,
Yeah.
and then Uyghur was always our guy that I've got a Uyghur jersey I'm looking at.
Big Uyghur guy. I love Uyghur. Like I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Uyghur was the guy that when he left, we were ready to see him go.
Oh yeah.
Because he was just making so many mistakes. The 2.8 seconds against Tampa at the, I think that was game 2 or game 3. I forget which game it was. Where you could see he had talent, but he was just making too many mistakes, and so everything just fell into place for us at the same time. Because that's when we got Maurice too.
Yeah, it's a miracle like off season. Or it was one of the most incredible, not even turnarounds. Like it's not like your team was trash or anything at that time, but just one of those ones where one team is going to do that every 30 years. Where you look back and go, "Oh, what a moment for that franchise!"
Yeah, completely redefined.
Yeah, it does. It redefined your franchise. What a way to put that! It literally redefined the Panthers. That's crazy.
Yeah, just completely. So let's talk some Bruins because I want to know. I want to know what you think about your own team there, and in terms of you started off. I know you were surprised. You were watching the games, and you're like, "Are we good? What is this? We'll just take it. We're fine."
Yeah.
But now it's gone on a little bit, and you haven't slid really. Nobody's slid. You can't slide anywhere in the division.
You just stayed
There's nowhere to go.
right there.
There's nowhere to go.
We've had 2 separate 6-game losing streaks this year. 2 separate ones. We started the year. We won the first 3, lost 6 in a row, ripped off 7 wins after that.
Yeah,
something like that. So it covered up that 6-game losing streak, and you're right back in it. And then we just recently broke out of another one. We've won the last 2, but we lost the 6 before that.
Right.
You would think, oh, you must be at the bottom of it. No, we're 2 points out of a playoff spot right now.
Yeah. It's just absurd.
It's been a weird year. It's also kind of mimicked some stuff in the past couple of years. The team started, they looked like they had a style. They looked like they were hard to play against. And then then they petered to 500. And I am a big, you can have structure. You can be bigger than the sum of your parts. But at the end of the day, you do have to have the talent. And this Bruins team doesn't have the talent right now. And that's okay to admit. And that's a fair look at the team at the moment.
Right.
Obviously, Pasternak is unbelievable what he's doing. He should have been, not that I would realistically argue this, but last year, had he won the Hart, I would have been like, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
what he did with that team was absurd.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it to a guy who didn't make the playoffs either, though, for what it's worth.
Right.
No, I really love this Bruins team because it's fascinating, but I am looking forward to them moving off of guys like Middlestat, who we just acquired, but that was, a big trade for us with several pieces. Zaka, a couple of the top 6 guys right now where you just sit there and go, you guys aren't top 6 players. Like Zaka's a utility guy. You can play him anywhere in the top 9 and you can be comfortable that you're going to get a decent player. But right now in the top 6, Pasternak drives the line. That's it. That's the only line driver that you've got. Elias Lindholm, I do not enjoy watching him play at all. He's like 3rd on the team in points. He's like 14th in 5-on-5 points. But everyone points to the
yeah, but you got to draw the penalties first.
Yeah, the power play, excellent. So he has helped with that. Geeky obviously being an unbelievable heater. Yeah. I keep saying it's unsustainable, but he keeps doing it, so I don't really know where to land on that.
Yeah, Carter Verhaeghe wasn't Carter Verhaeghe until he just all of a sudden started scoring 40 goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Frustrating. Verhaeghe, not to get all back at the Panthers, but I've had him on my fantasy team before. I watch a lot of Panthers, and I sit there and go, this guy does nothing, and then he scores a goal. He's doing free skate, and then all of a sudden a blast from the left dot, and you're like, okay.
Yeah. Verhaeghe, we pay him for you wouldn't realize it, you wouldn't know it, but Verhaeghe had 1 more point than Conn Smythe's Sam Bennett last year in the playoffs.
I wouldn't actually. Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed that.
You just expect it, so nobody's paying attention. Well, there's that one. There's that. He's just that kind of player.
Yeah. So, but to kind of sum up what the Bruins are looking like to me right now is. It's a great situation if we're actually going to pull off this retool on the fly. It's hard to do. Not a lot of teams have achieved it. We did achieve it once with a couple of down years in the mid 2010s and then right back into contention.
Right.
But it's a perfect start. Last year, we bottomed out super hard, got Hagens. The trade for Zellers looks like it might be a really good one as he is just scoring at will right now. We have some actual prospects, which we haven't had in a decade plus. But it's threading a needle. It's a really intense, like tight wire. Can they actually manage to do this? Because 2 years from now, if we don't get like significant help from a couple of guys called up, then no, we're going to end up having to do a full scale rebuild.
Right. And that's you led to the question that you kind of answered a little bit, but that was my question is, what do you think your chances are, was taking Pasta and Swayman and getting good enough to win again?
It's never good chances to do it this way, but it's the Dumb and Dumber. There is a chance.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. And look, you're kind of in that position where it's not like you're the Penguins and they got old and they're still trying to, thread that needle. Like you have time there. I mean, Swayman just signed, so you got time there. He's certainly capable. And then you start looking at the rest of the conference, and really, from your guys' perspective, it's just like if we could just wait these damn Panthers out, we might have a chance. Because,
well, things change fast too. I mean, I was really glad that we got the 2028 first from you guys, right? Or 2027, which could get pushed to 2028.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I think that's what it is. It's something like that. But I didn't want the next one, right? Because things change fast in the NHL. They don't change as fast as like the NFL, where 1 year you're great, the next year you might suck. They usually get a couple of years of run. But if something's going to go wrong for the Panthers, I'd rather bet on that than like, oh, next year they don't have. I mean, even we didn't know you wouldn't have Barkov, but like, oh, Kachuk's gonna be out for a while. I'm not. They just have to get into the dance, and the East is fucking bizarre. I'm not really worried about having a high pick from the Panthers next year. 2028. Who the fuck knows?
No, we've got. I mean, it can. I don't necessarily know if this team is going to pull what Tampa did in terms of just like they went to their 3 straight and then they've continued to make it even though they haven't.
They've stayed really good.
Yeah, they've stayed really. Vasilevsky's younger than Bobrovsky though, so that kind of leans into that a little bit because for the Panthers, that's the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? But Vasilevsky's 31-ish, something like that. So he's played a lot of hockey, but with Bobrovsky, it's kind of like, well, and even this year, like. We were talking about it the last couple of days because Tarasov looked good last night against the Avalanche. And it's like, maybe we could not have to play Bob 3-4 games in a row and give Tarasov a few more nights. I mean, even if Bob is going to be everything he's been in the playoffs, you still do get to a point at some point. Well, he's 37 now. So when 30, at some point you get to a place where it's like, hey, look, let's cut down those starts. Because nobody stays young for forever.
Oh, dude, Tuukka Rask, he was, 36, looked great. I think he was in his mid-30s. And then he got one injury. Obviously, Swayman's trying to come up. We've got Ullmark in now. And, Rask came back and was awful.
Yeah,
and just immediately were like, oh, no, you don't have it anymore. Bye. That's it.
Yeah.
And Rask was also the one to hang him up. He's like, I just don't have it. I'm hurt.
Yeah.
It happens fast with goalies.
Yeah, at that age especially. And also, this is last year Bob's contract too. So I've been waiting for the extension. I thought we were going to give him an extension over the summer. And it's kind of important because the longer we don't know what his number is going to be, that affects because, if Barkov for some reason isn't going to come back, then maybe you go get a guy. But if he's got term on his deal, now you need to know what Bob's going to get paid next year. So
the goaltending is impossible too, because I was surprised by the Knight deal, honestly, because I know that he had really had some ups and downs in Florida. It's not like he always looked like the guy, and even now, it's not like he's a sure thing. But you don't have a backup plan right now. And if Swayman went down, we don't have a backup plan right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Korpisalo in a second.
He's shit, man. He's
That's what I was going to say. Is that could that be a possible move for you guys? Because I mean, his numbers aren't. Let's say if we're playing the Bruins and Korpisalo's in net, we feel pretty good.
Yeah, he not only are his numbers not great, he'll put together a good performance every now and again, but his numbers aren't great. You watch him and you're like, even when you look good, the rebounds are unholy bad. They're really bad.
Yeah.
And he complains about not getting enough starts. They're like, you're going to complain too? You suck and you're going to complain?
Yikes.
So very ready for him.
Know your role, man. Know your role.
Not a fan of Korpisalo.
The Spencer Knight thing. I have not a unique perspective on it, but I have a different perspective from many people that I've heard. As soon as, remember, that was talent, and we drafted him, and then like a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever it was, we signed Bobrovsky and immediately blocked him.
Yep.
And so my perspective, I always looked at it from Spencer's perspective. It was like he knew, like, I'm not going to get a chance. Like I have to play better than the $10 million goalie to get a real
fair. In his first year, wasn't Bobrovsky having a tough first year with you guys? I might be misremembering that.
No. There was 2 seasons there where Bob was up and down and Spencer kept coming in. And
your defense was not great at that time.
The defense was that was Demers and Yandel and
I forgot about Yandel.
Okay,
Iron Man.
Yeah, man, Yandel and so there was a couple of times when we all thought as fans, torch has been passed. Bob's not cutting it. Spencer's been playing well, and every time that would happen, the Panthers be like, nope, there you go, Bob. There you go, Bubba. You still got the job.
You're paying him $10 million.
And yeah, you're paying him $10 million, right? And so then Spencer had the OCD thing where he went into the player assistance program. And what do I know? I'm just a guy, in his basement. But I've kind of always felt like the situation with the Panthers might have contributed to that a little bit. Because, he did come in. I mean, he won game 5 for us against the Lightning in his first playoff start. Looked good.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember that well.
Yeah. No, that was when we had Drieger. And so Bob and Drieger were both struggling. And I think we went Bob, Drieger, Bob, and then we said, screw it. And we went to Spencer Knight.
Right. We made so much fun of the $10 million goaltender for that one. That's right. We loved it. We loved dunking on
I'm
that
sure.
contract, Bob.
I'm sure.
I miss those days, honestly.
Right. And so long story short, that once Spencer did the assistance program, and then the plan always was to have him play just the full year at the AHL level. Just let the kid play. Just get him on the ice, let him play. And he never made it up to the NHL at any point that year. He was on the Black Aces during the playoffs. And then of course, last year he was playing well for us. But the situation was that not exactly what they did for Marchand, but Spencer was ready to play. Like the kid had done everything that we had asked him to do. He had handled things to the best of his ability every time he played for us. If Bob was sick or whatever, and Knight got 3-4 starts in a row, he looked really good. And it was just time, because when they traded him and they asked Maurice, well, who's the future of the Florida Panthers in goal? Maurice said the future of the Florida Panthers is Sergei Bobrovsky. So there's no intention there to have anybody other than Bob unless he falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
And so I think they looked at the situation and they said, look, Spencer's playing well, right? He's rehabilitated his trade value. And you got the situation where, a top pair with Ekblad and Forsling play a lot of minutes. And to be able to get Jones, who's basically another top pair guy, and the minutes that he eats for, at that point, what is still technically your backup goalie. Yeah, you might look 3 years down the future, but when you're trying to win a cup right now, forget the 3 years from now.
Yeah, and that's the point, right? It's like you could do it because, all right, what helps us win a cup this year?
Right,
that's what matters. You've already won the 2. I think that's what people really like. Not that they forget. No one's going to forget that. But it's one of those things where we just talked about the whole plan going forward. And the Bruins went through this for a long time too. And people would complain about spending assets and all this kind of stuff. You already won the one. The core is like an achievement. So many teams. I mean, look at the Sharks, the Predators, Vancouver. I mean, it littered the last 20 years with this core was incredible. They made a finals once.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. They ran into Crosby in the finals. Sorry, that was your one shot.
That's it.
Like, it's at this point, we go all in. You know how many teams have won 3 in a row? Like, you could be historically great.
I know.
You have to do it. And it is hard with goaltenders because, I mean, we did the Swayman. So we know we're moving on from Tuukka. We know Swayman's like the guy. He looked great in college. He looked like he was going to be the next thing. But we had to make sure we bring in Ullmark. But then all of a sudden, we're spending $12 million a year on goaltending. And we're like, we can't do this.
It's not easy.
Not easy. A lot of tough decisions had to get made. Not all the right ones were made. You're sitting over there talking about Seth Jones. Like, I saw that and I went, I hate Jones. Like, I hate that player. I don't think he's looked way better in Florida than I ever would have expected. But it's not like that didn't have a risk. His underlying analytics didn't look great. You watched him. He had the Bouchard, like, I'm going to turn it over in front of my net for an easy one every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
He's still doing that?
No, the dude has been. I would pretty much use the word fantastic for us, or maybe just a step below fantastic.
Nice. I mean, you would take that all day, though. Like, that was a swing, and it connected.
Yeah, and it worked for. It's really going to work for both teams.
Yeah.
But without Jones and Marchand, we don't win that second cup. I mean, and that's part of the thing that frustrated us Panther fans about Zito not getting GM of the year. It's like, the dude swung for the fences with 2 swings last year, and we don't win the cup without those 2 swings.
Yeah, but it has to. Your team had to be shit first, and then they got.
Like that. Yeah. Well, who can not a lot of teams can just risk. Why don't we just get rid of our future goaltender?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And take. But no, Jones has been, and he's been better this year. Even he's been really solid. You know, he's been active on the power play. He's not. I'm not seeing any of because I heard people talking. Maybe he gets a bit lazy and everything like that.
You know, I think you make a good point that, like, the stability of his game's better, and I find it fascinating how often we criticize, like, for a Bruins comparison, Hampus Lindholm gets brought in. And he was Norris caliber that record-breaking year that fell a little short. Don't know what happened in the first round there. Don't know I hate talking about that series with Bruins fans because they want to talk about the choke job. And absolutely, up 3-1 choke job. The ignoring the, like, our top 2 centers were dealing with injuries like a week before, and
it was worse when Bergeron came back, man.
Yeah,
Hampus
was hurt, who was on a Norris caliber level. Ullmark got hurt, and then we had to just throw Swayman in, who played out of his mind in Game 7. That was. I don't like talking about that series in a, like, purely choke job level because I'm like, sure, but that was bad timing. We had a miracle year. And everything hit the fan at the worst possible time. And not to mention, that Panthers team shouldn't have been an 8th seed. You guys dealt with so much weird shit all year, but I was like, this is actually what I wanted to talk to you about as well. Sure. I know that we're getting up there in time.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Oh, I had a whole Seth Jones point too, but so much to talk about. But this is better. The conference. The conference is a mess, right?
Right.
There is going to be a team. The Penguins were infamous for this too, but injured throughout the season, never got to show its potential. Now, the Panthers are different because we know what the potential is.
Right.
But there's going to be, in the East, a 7th or 8th seed. I think the Panthers will make it into the top 3 of the division by the time we get there. We'll see.
So.
But I'm fairly confident. But I think there'll be somebody who's hurt, had some bad start of the year, really crappy something, and then they get in late, and they're just a death trap. Like, they're an absolute, like, I don't want to face that team. And that felt like what the Panthers were those years, 3 years ago. And then, of course, everything hit the fan for you guys in the finals. You didn't have a healthy skater to put on the damn ice.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, that was... Everyone wanted to talk about the miracle run. I'm like, the miracle ran out in the conference finals, man. Everyone's dead.
Yeah, I mean, that freaking... you could trace most of that probably back to the 4 overtime game against Carolina. It's like, yeah, we swept them, but it was 6 games worth of hockey, you know?
Yeah, that's Carolina is always good for an entertaining sweep in the conference finals.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man.
But no, your thoughts on that? Like, do you think there's going to be someone coming in late in this conference who you're like 1 seed versus 8 seed? I don't know who I'm taking.
I don't know, because the teams that would classify as not really playing up to what you would deem their potential right now, I don't know how much I trust them, because the Devils,
God,
the Leafs, I don't think anybody's trusting the Leafs.
Yeah. The Leafs might actually be giving us a hell of a good pick this year, by the way.
Right.
We have if it's after, they have the top 5 protected, but after that, we have their first round of this year.
I think the team that, if they get the right goaltending, and I know that they're in a spot right now, but the Flyers, they just seem like they could be just enough of a pain in the ass. You know, in the playoff series, if you win a oopsie game here or a game there, that you win that series.
Yeah.
As I just know, with the way that the Canes are playing, it's like, how many goals? What's their next trick? Giving up a 5-goal lead?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just
a good point.
Good Lord, right? And then you got the Islanders, and it's like, okay, right?
Yeah. I think, to your point,
when
I also struggle to trust any of them. Like, you're naming Islanders and Flyers, and I'm like, yeah, good point. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're at the 2 and 3 hole, right? And then, I mean, Washington, okay, but who's in net? Like, Anderson's hurt every other day, you know? Yep. So, no, that's Carolina.
No, Carolina, yeah. But Washington, Logan Thompson is like going nuts over there again. I don't trust him in a big spot, but boy, does he look great in the regular season.
So, man, I want to answer that. I mean, Ottawa's not be a surprise, because they were in last year. I'm petrified of Montreal and their skaters, but everybody tells me that their style isn't sustainable in the playoffs. And my retort to that is, that doesn't matter if they skate us to death in the first round, because we're exhausted. You know what I mean?
No, you would bully the shit out of that team physically, but yeah, if they're fresh,
if we can catch them,
we
can't catch them.
That's the Bruins' problem right now.
We've lost them 5 times in a row, and it's the same thing. We stand there, and it's like, I made this analogy. It's like parents chasing their toddlers. And we're just like standing, like, will you guys stop freaking skating? No. Yep. And they're just skating around and around and around. And we're like just poking our stick at them, because, and it's just, they're a pain in the ass to play against. They really are.
I hate that the Habs are getting good at the wrong time, because the Bruins are, again, they're going downwards. Like, we understand that. The league is such a fun place for everyone when Boston and Montreal are both good. Because those games are, I mean, both games this year started puck drop fight. Like, no one touched the puck. They just shed them and fought. Both games have started that way. I hope they do it for every meeting. I love that team, unfortunately. I hate the franchise. Love watching the Habs play.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Where does Buffalo finish?
Good Lord.
They've done this before. I'm pretty sure it was 2018, 2019, something like that. They won 10 games in a row and then bottomed the hell out after that. But where do they end?
That's such a tough question, because if I'm going to be biased, Florida, Montreal, or Tampa, Florida. No, excuse me, Tampa, Montreal, Florida.
Who?
Right. It's like, you would expect Toronto, but I don't know.
They look like shit.
Ottawa.
They look so bad.
Boston could do it. And then there's Buffalo, and it's like, you don't know whether to look at their roster when they're bad and say, why are they so bad? Or look at them when they're playing well and going, how the hell are they winning 10 straight?
Yeah.
Like, and with the way that the freaking division is now, if they've already proven they can run off a hot streak, I think the wild cards could easily end up, whoever gets that last 5, 6, 7 gets on a win streak to end the last 5, 6, 7 games of the year.
Oh, how fun would that be?
And just whoopsies get in.
Yeah.
So I don't want to discount them.
The team that wins 7 straight just to get swept in the first round.
Jesus. right? Yeah, because if the Lightning win the division, nobody is beating the Lightning until they get to Florida because they want our ass.
Yeah, we need to see that again, by the way. Those series are excellent. There's always controversy about penalties and suspensions and everything. I love watching it. I can't imagine you have like the warm fuzzies watching it.
I've gotten to the point now where when I'm doing my videos about it, I'm like the grandfather. Just stop, enough. Like, we get it. Hagel went after Barkov, but just stop, because at some point somebody's going to get really, really, really hurt. Like, we've had guys get really hurt and really, really hurt, but at some point, it's going to get. It's just stupid at some point. And I know usually in the playoffs, that stuff, they kind of tamper it down unless it's a blowout game, and then it gets kind of ugly.
I can't imagine that's happening between these two teams. I don't know how to press the off button with you guys.
It's a hate. It's a personal hate. I think it extends way past the hockey at this point.
Good. We need more of that again. It's been I don't want to see anybody hurt.
Right.
I think there's been 2 players in the history of me watching that I've been like, that guy should be injured. Because they're like, Brooks Orpik was that guy who I'm like, you're out to injure people. Someone needs to take your head off. Like, Sam Bennett's a rat, and yes, he's out to like knock a guy out for a game. He's not out to end a guy's career. Right. Brooks Orpik is out to end a guy's career. Anyway, that's all.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Look, like I always say with Bennett, it's like, yeah, you're playing on the line and a little bit over, but the line has moved so far from where it used to be anyway. It's unrecognizable anyway.
Well, no one until the Department of Player Safety ever decides on anything like concretely, like no one knows. I don't even remember how that Hagel situation ended with suspensions. I remember Tampa was upset, I think.
Right. Yeah.
But you saw for both sides, you're sitting there like, should everyone be suspended here? Right? Like everybody, I don't know. At this point, I just don't.
It's hard. It's the same concept as goalie interference.
Sure.
It's like you could have 10 people watch it and 3 people are sure it is and 3 people are sure it isn't. And out of the other 4, the 2 of them think these people are clinically insane. And it's just like, and we're all watching the same thing. And then, of course, you can slow everything down to the freaking micro nanosecond. And so it's like, at this frame, Bennett's elbow's here. And look, he purposefully moves it a quarter of an inch. And that's
really just him moving forward while skating.
He's on skate. They are skating, right? It's like, have you ever skated? Have you tried to stop while skating before? It's just, you can't just toe pick yourself.
I'm not going to sit here and defend Sam Bennett by any means.
No.
But no, I have, I think, a unique view of it, as many Bruins fans would, that we had players like that for a very, very long time.
Right.
We have players now that, I don't want to catch Zadorov on a bad night. He actually is pretty docile from what I expected.
Right.
He doesn't really cross a lot of lines. He's just so much bigger than everybody that when he does get you, he fucking gets you.
Yeah.
But we had Marchand, who was, the slew footing is the thing I'll point out the most, because it was just bad. You're just like, someone's going to get really hurt. And that was completely intentional and obvious. And people would sit there and be like, it's not that bad. I'm like, it is that bad. It's fine to point out that my own guys are kind of shitty about stuff. And so Sam Bennett's the same thing. There's moments where, like, the him and Marchand hit, like when he literally punched him.
Yeah.
Like, that's shitty. You can criticize that.
Right.
I'm not going to pretend Marchand didn't deserve it.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And Marchand, it was a couple of games. It was the Canadiens game. It was overtime in the Canadiens game. That's the first thing he's done with us that I was kind of like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, he's going to have a couple of them.
Yeah, he hadn't done it yet. And then just like, I forget, the player was covered and the puck is gone and he just comes in and just, the elbow's out. And
Truba style,
it was like, Brad, and it's funny because it's like they showed him on camera and he was kind of like shit.
Yep.
And he kind of knew that maybe I shouldn't. And of course, Montreal scored in overtime and we lost the game. But we'll give him a pass because the dude it's 23 goals.
Yeah. And you've built your identity off of like playing the line, not elbowing people exactly, but playing like we might, dilly-dally, tilt-toe over here, and then once in a while one of your guys leaps. The Bruins were the same way. And I think what really benefits Marchand, in fact, it's the same Seth Jones point, by the way. Your team has brought in these guys where you get to go like, hey, we don't want you to lose that, but you get to focus at this stage of your career on a different kind of thing. Marchand's offensive game has always been incredible, but he's a penalty killer, an excellent defensive forward, and he was an absolute rat. When he comes into the Panthers, you're like, dude, we have the rats covered.
We have rats.
We want you to like work them up, but we have that covered. Defensively, we kind of got you covered there too. We need goals. Yeah. And he's doing it. And Seth Jones, the same thing. He comes in, and it's like, you don't have to be our number one. You don't have to be the guy. And we possess the puck a ton, which means you're allowed to roam the blue line like you like and make an impact offensively. You don't have to be caught in your own zone all the freaking time.
No, and I tell you, Jones having Mikkola as his second pair. Mikkola is so underrated. The dude is like 14 foot tall, and you just can't get around him. You can't. Yep. It's just not happening. I mean, maybe McDavid and McKinnon, but everybody else, he just finds a way to, and you can't get around him. It's
nice. It's nice having that, isn't it? Dude, Char was that for a decade plus for us. Like, you're not going around the guy.
Yeah, you're just not going. You're not even worried about it. You're like, Mikkola's back. Don't even worry.
No. It'll be a 2-on-1, and you're like, oh, it's Chara.
Yeah, it's not.
I think Mikkola and Forsling are two of the most. And again, look, the Panthers have won twice, and they've been to 3 straight. I'm still not going to sit here and pretend that Florida gets the attention that they deserve on a national scale from hockey fans. Mikkola and Forsling are two of the most underrated defensemen because those cups just don't happen without them.
No,
right? These guys were incredible defensively and offensively. Like, it's such an impact. And which one did you get off waivers? Was it Forsling?
Forsling.
Yeah, incredible.
I know.
Everything about this run is like it's perfection. Every swing you took just hit over and over and over again. And unreal.
That's the thing when people say, we only won because we're dirty and all it is. Yeah. And I'm like, look at the number of like top 5 picks that are on the ice at any given night. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't like the narrative that sure, the style helps you wear teams down and wins. And there's been injuries. And look, do I think you get to 3 finals without playing that kind of style? I'm not so sure. I don't know. Maybe not. But the talent has been there. Yeah. And we're also talking about talent after 20 years of like being an afterthought in the league.
Dude, we went in 95, 96. We went to the finals, swept Colorado.
First year for you guys, right? Wasn't
third.
Second
third,
year? Third, yeah.
Third year, yeah. And then the next year we lost to the Rangers in the first round. And I think we never won another round until the round we won against Washington a few years back.
Which was a heartbreaker for Washington, which was just devastating.
Yeah. And we had to win the President's Trophy to finally freaking win a round.
Yeah. And people still didn't believe in you, by the way.
No. Well, and then we got swept by Tampa. We won't talk about that.
Hey, that happened to a lot of teams. We were always partial to the gentleman's sweep against Tampa. We love to win the first one and then lose the next 4.
Yeah.
The Tampa team's something else. Their longevity is nuts too. For them to be as good as they've been.
They've been willing to make some tough decisions. That
Sergachev trade.
Letting Stamkos, Sergachev. Yeah, you're right.
I'm trying to remember like the name if I've got that wrong, but
no, you got it right. You got it right. And then letting Stamkos go, replace not so much replacing it with Gensel, but production wise, it wasn't. They did what they needed to do. And my only gripe with Tampa all these years is, and it's kind of played out last few years in the postseason. Is like get Vasilevsky a decent backup because he has to play so many. Not only has to play so many games, but he knows that the pressure's on him to win those games because, now they've got Johansson, who's been okay. He's been all right.
He's been a professional.
Yeah, he's been all right. Tampa's just about the only team, Tampa and Boston, the only teams in the Conference of Panthers haven't supplied goalies to at this point.
Really?
It's stupid at some point. It's like we traded Levi to Buffalo for Reinhardt. Montebo was a Panther. Alex Lyon, right?
Right.
And Stolars.
Thought Alex Lyon was like the next big thing for a second there.
Remember, Alex Lyon started that series against Boston.
Played great, too.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even Bobrovsky that started that series. And so, it's been a journey, man.
That series, by the way, the coin flip moment with 57 seconds left, the puck deflecting off of McAvoy's stick, top corner on Swayman to tie it and then go to overtime. 57 seconds left. I'll always remember that because obviously record-breaking year, everything, the heartbreak of it all. And you'll just always go back to that and be like, what does the league look like? If the Panthers lose in the first round there and the Bruins finish their run. I mean, we didn't, who knows what would have happened in the second round.
Right.
But it's just, there's so many things between so many franchises. Like, it's nice to have some connection in the Atlantic with that, because other than that, these two teams didn't give a shit about each other. At all.
No. The irony of it, we always look at it like the irony of the whole series being on Marchand's stick and the breakaway in Game 5. I mean, that, and then he comes here and we win the cup. It's just, the irony is absurd, but look, and
for me, for me.
no, I get it. Look, that's another, I was on a roll that year. There's a clip that is on this channel of me screaming behind the couch, waving the flag for Hagee in overtime, But the thing with it is, I was excited that we won and everything, but that was me remembering in real time that in my series preview, I predicted the Panthers would win in Game 7 with Verhaeghe in overtime.
Oh, you were full of predictions.
Right. I was on a roll that year, man.
You must have been. I will tell you one thing. That game, obviously heartbreaking. The whole year, I'll never, that was an incredible year for the team, incredible year for me. I'll never, people are like, oh, I hate it. And I do want Colorado to break the record this year so I can kind of get that, I don't want them to bring us up all the time with it. But genuinely, great 6 months, right? Awesome.
Yeah.
We lost that game. And this is like a personal moment for me. But so we lose that game. I'm in my office alone watching. I can't do the whole, I can't be at a party watching this thing.
Right.
I shut off the stream. I look at the wall for 10, 15 minutes. And I just can't believe it's over. With the year we've had, it was incredible. And everything was perfect. It was perfect until it wasn't. And so about 15 minutes passes. I get up. I walk out of my office. And there's my fiance. She has 2 shots poured. She must have heard, or maybe I think she told me she was tracking on her phone because she knew we're going to Game 7 against a team that we shouldn't have been going to Game 7 against. We had this and we didn't. And it was just one of those moments that just reminds you how great your life is. Because you sit there and go that's my person in my corner who's just hey, come have a drink with me. And it's just a game, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's a weirdly incredible moment that I'll never forget. And I'm so thankful for. I still would have way rather taken a victory shot.
Right.
And not have to deal with all that shit. But personally, it was such a beautiful moment for me. It just really did suck.
I can empathize with that in a little bit in reverse. It's not the same, but you see Fluffy there on the back screen, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm spending that whole playoff series in the cup. I'm sleeping on the floor with him. He's dying, and they're celebrating the cup. I shut off the stream. I'm laying on the bed with the dog. I still haven't watched the first. I haven't watched the parade. I never watched any of that stuff because I was with him. He passed 2 weeks later, and so it was not the same, but it's in those moments, you just realize it's like this whole huge thing was a part of my life, but it's still life. You still
but what matters to me is the one sitting next to me right now.
Yeah.
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 I remember you announcing Fluffy's passing, and there was just a little piece of me that's kind of like, Fluffy got one.
Yeah, he got one. Yeah. Yeah.
Fluffy
That's why my avatar, he's got the cup in his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
Yeah, man. It was a ride. And last year we get it again. And yeah, it sounds greedy, but I kept telling everybody last year, I was like, they need to win another one so I really have a clean experience.
Yeah.
I mean? It's just like
there's nothing outside of my head. Just not
it was a wild. My life is wild, man.
Yeah.
And I assume you married the fiance. Is that okay to ask?
It's been a long engagement. We've had a lot professionally going on. So April, we have our
Okay.
So it's a good thing the Bruins are not likely to be in the playoffs.
don't you never know.
Got some stuff going on.
But at least they won't have the expectations. You know what I mean?
Actually, what's really great about that is, and I mean, you've dealt with this over the past 5 or so years. When your team's not good, watching hockey's easy. You're kind of like, whatever. When they're good, the expectation is like, what do you mean you're losing to the Sharks?
Oh my
God. What the fuck is it?
The first 4 years of the channel, I mean, I created the channel. That's the crazy part. And I always have empathy for Dangle about this.
Oh, yeah.
Because I created the channel because we were so bad. Okay. And in 10 years, I got a President's Trophy, 3 trips to the finals, and 2 cups. And I watched Dangle, and I'm like, that could have been me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can understand in year 19 how you would be like, just because the first 4 years, dude, nothing like the yelling, screaming, cursing. And I mean, everything was just a joke. Everything was a skit. There were the recaps were in a little bit of a different format. And like, we'd lose a game and the recap would just be me. I'd get my big salad bowl, and I'd put like honey grams and ice cream and cheddar fish and just a whole bunch of shit in there and just eat it. And then sometimes I got like the apple cider vinegar, and I'd be like, this is better than watching the Panther game, and just chug the apple cider vinegar. But as we've gotten better, now it's like I had to become professional. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because now if I bitch too much about it, people are like, what are you complaining about? It's like, well, I still try to make it entertaining. You know what I mean? It's like you have to.
People do. You'll always have somebody who's like, I'm going to think of this outside the moment. And if you think of it outside the moment, then you're with them. But the person who's thinking about it inside the moment is going to criticize you for it. Right. I don't make a single video where I don't get somebody being like, you're looking at this wrong. It just doesn't. There's no opinion that satisfies everybody. And I've caught myself at times being like, I don't know if I want to say that. I'm going to get a lot of flack. I'm like, fuck that. No, I'm going to say what I want to say. It is tricky. When you start to have a bunch of people commenting, you start to try to like cater, and you have to push back on that. Like, I want to do my thing.
Yeah, it's tough. And then, of course, I don't know if it's the same for you, but, I'm probably about 15 years older than you, so it's probably not. But I forget what I said.
No, dude, my memory is abhorrent. Just awful. So we'll be a week removed, and I'll talk about a game, and someone's like, different standards from when you talked to me. I'm like, yeah, probably. I don't know. This is how I feel in the moment.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, before the Canadians game, I was like, we got 3 cups. It's no problem, man. We're good. You know what I mean? And by the end of the Winter Classic, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I do hope to someday have a cup with the channel. We'll see if it ever happens. But I mean, it's also one of those things you just never know. One year might come out of nowhere. And like we mentioned earlier, several different franchises who have never seen a cup are like, hey, we're great. And you're great for 8 years. And you guys never went to a finals.
No, right? I'll give you the secret. You said this is year 5, right?
I think it's year 5. Yeah.
Year 5. Okay. Let me see, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute. 7, 8, 9, 10. In year 7, start streaming every single game. Every single Bruins game.
Every single one. All right.
Because that's what I did. That's what we did. In year 7, we started streaming every single Panther game. and we haven't not been to the Cup since. We've streamed every game for 3 years. And that's
a crazy schedule though. But you said you have a little more time than I do on your hands for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, so we stream every Panther game. And of course we run the football channel. So like
that's right. You also do
yesterday we streamed the Panther game and the Dolphin game at the same time on both channels. It works. It works.
That Dolphin game was gross.
Dude, I know. It is. I'm a Dolphin. What can I do? I'm a Dolphin fan. I can't complain about it. I'm a Panther fan. So it's I'm good.
Dude, imagine being what is the New York, the Jets, Nets, Mets, and I can't even think of who the fourth one was, but there are versions of those fans who are just miserable out there. As long as one of your team's doing well. Obviously, Boston, I can't really say anything. I've literally seen every single one of my teams have a championship.
Yeah. The Dolphins crazy. The Dolphins won the Super Bowl when I was 2. So
yeah, hard to count that one. Yeah.
It's I grew up with Marino, so it wasn't like I had the worst upbringing. You know what I mean?
Greatest QB to never win one, huh?
Yeah, something like that. That's what they tell us anyway. So, all right, my friend, I'm happy you did this. We got to do this again. This
was awesome, man.
Yeah. This was too good. As the season goes on, and especially as we get close to the playoffs, God help us if it doesn't break up a little bit in the Eastern Conference.
We'll see you in the first round. How about that?
How do I see if you want to be? You got to get into the 3rd spot. I don't want to mess with the wild card. I'm not because there's too many. I don't want to be in that position of like there's a week left in the season and there's 7 teams within 2 points. I want to be nice and snug up there in the 3. So we'll take the 2 if you'll take the 3, but somebody's got to get rid of Montreal.
I'll talk to the boys. We'll see. We'll work something out.
Okay.
No, thanks for having me on, man. This was really great. Been meaning to do this for a while now. We've chatted in the past about it, but
this was good. So I'll get this up, and now I'll leave everybody. And the links are going to be in the description and the pinned comment to Low Quality Bruins fans. If you haven't seen his stuff, which if you know anything about the hockey YouTube algorithm, you just never know.
Yep.
You just never know. Check his stuff out, man. The guy's amazing. He does the Bruins recaps and he does Bruins videos and other stuff. And it just one of the best out there. True, absolutely true.
I appreciate that. Really do.
All right, brother. All right. Thank you all for watching. And so I'll see you guys all every day at noon. You guys know the deal. So we'll see you then.